Network now on the Westwood One Radio Network. The Falcons have released former first-round pick Tack McKinley, the defensive end, finishing with 17.5 sacks in 3+ years with the Falcons. Washington QB Kyle Allen will have season-ending surgery following a dislocated ankle suffered in Sunday's loss to the Giants. That, according to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport, Alex Smith will be the starter going forward. Meantime, Steelers tight end Vance McDonald has tested positive for COVID-19. He played in 20 offensive snaps in Sunday's win against Dallas. The Steelers now in the league's intensive protocol and in the process of completing contact tracing with assistance from the NFL and NFLPA. And on Monday Night Football, the Patriots beat the Jets 30-27. Nick Folk, a 51-yard game-winning field goal. Cam Newton, 2 rushing touchdowns for the Patriots in their 3rd win. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Napa know-how.
Right now, get a 5-quart jug of Napa full synthetic motor oil and a platinum filter for just $22.98. They're an iconic duo like Salt and Pepper, a hammer and a nail, or the holidays and awkward hugs. You can't get one without the other. That's Napa full synthetic and a platinum filter for just $22.98. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
General states pricing. Sales price does not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer ends 12/31/20.
Salute to Service is the NFL's year-round effort to honor, empower, and connect with our nation's service members, veterans, and their families through long-standing partnerships that support our military community. The NFL, clubs, players, and USAA thank all of our armed forces serving in the United States and around the world. Bid on authentic, game-worn Salute to Service items, where 100% of the proceeds are donated to the NFL's military nonprofit partners. Join the NFL and USAA in Salute to Service by visiting NFL.com/salute.
Well, it is a Tuesday, the 10th day of November 2020, and you're listening to AM 1230 KXO El Centro, California, live and local in the Imperial Valley. And live and local in the newsroom. Good morning, Gene.
Good morning, Carroll.
Another beautiful day in the neighborhood.
A little bite in the air this morning.
Well,
a nip.
A nip, yes. And that's good.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that'll help us be ready for Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about the lettuce.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there are people that are thinking about the lettuce, those that have got it in the ground, anticipating the harvest.
Yeah, which should be most any time.
The beginning.
Yeah, and driving around the valley a little bit, it seems... I've seen more of the mixed greens type, salad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you can tell by the packages. Just look closer.
Okay.
Feel.
Yeah.
They plant them now with the package. It grows in the package. It saves a step.
Isn't science amazing?
It is amazing.
Yes. Oh, well. And speaking of amazing, a man was banned from Yellowstone Park after trying to cook a chicken in a hot spring. Experts say the chicken would not have been edible because of the sulfur in the hot water. Yeah, I'm just thinking, if he knew about this, Colonel Sanders would be spinning in his bucket, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, got to give it a try, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised that he wasn't successful. Those are some mighty hot springs.
Yeah, it may have cooked, but I think they caught up to him before.
Yeah, well, thank God for his sake.
Yes.
Not only is it sulfur, but some of that stuff is poisonous, too. So
very much so. I know up in Mammoth, when I fished trout up in Mammoth, I believe it's Sulphur Spring and Sulphur Hot Springs.
Mm-hmm.
And and there's a lake up above Mammoth that it's fenced off because, well, it emits gases that kill you.
Yeah. I can believe that.
Yeah. And there weren't any trout in the lake anyway.
Yeah. They probably had a similar effect to them as well, too.
Yeah, it may well have. Oh, well. Anyway, are you ready for birthdays?
Birthdays we have.
Okay, we've got our big shot birthdays. Have you noticed, unlike last week, our birthday lists are significantly smaller?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. The law of average says that's going to happen.
It all works out.
Comes out in the wash.
Yeah, let's see. Singer, guitarist Greg Lake of Emerson, Lake and Palmer is 68. Some heavy, dark music from Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Actress, dancer Anne Reinking, 66. Actor John Scalia is 65. Sinbad, 59. Actress Mackenzie Phillips, 56. Actor Hugh Bonneville is 52. Didn't Pontiac name a car after him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Comedian Tracy Morgan, 47. Actress Ellen Pompeo is 46. Actor Ormy is 45. Actress Heather Matarazzo, 33. Miranda Lambert, 32. Actor Josh Peck is 29. And actress Kieran Shipka is 16. Local birthdays coming up.
The coronavirus is affecting everyone.
Must wear face coverings when out.
What do I do? What are you going to do?
When this is all over.
When this is all over.
When this is all over.
What are you going to do?
Going to a concert, school, having dinner with friends. Take better care of each other. Support local shops and stores. Offering more help to others. This should be over soon.
We have KXO birthdays to celebrate. Happy birthday, Anita Valadez, Miguel Camacho, Maria Banda, Abelino Vasquez, Kaylin Patzloff, Ashley Smith, Pat Kearns, Irma Lavelle, Samara Gonzalez, Nicholas Servine, Ann Armstrong, Noela Ramirez, Cynthia Dagnino, Danny Wong, Melissa Pena, Mickey Emery, Sonia Smith, Yolanda Esparza, and Santiago Valdez. Happy birthday from KXO. And many happy returns. Let's see. We did mention it's a Tuesday, the 10th day of November. Today is Vanilla Cupcake Day. Okay. Vanilla, vastly underrated. Especially when you take the vanilla cupcake, put chocolate fudge frosting on it, and sprinkles.
I was going to say, don't all cupcakes start out as vanilla?
I don't know.
I thought that was the case. You can have it chocolate, you can have it pecan, or you can just have it vanilla.
How about German chocolate cupcakes?
Probably you can start with a vanilla cupcake and convert it to German chocolate. I don't know.
No, vanilla is vanilla. The other flavors are other flavors. They all start with flour. You're right. But then you add vanilla flavoring.
Yes, and you add sugar. And
lots of sugar.
Lots of other stuff like
yes.
that.
Okay, and today is also Sesame Street Day. Let's hear it for Big Bird. Let's hear it for Bert and Ernie. Let's hear it for Oscar the Grouch. For the Count. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Count.
Let's hear it for Elmo.
Haven't seen those guys hanging around anywhere lately.
Well, they went commercial. HBO bought them.
Did they really? Because I didn't. They must have purchased it because Henson. There's been another owner since Henson passed away.
Yeah, they're Sesame Street, but HBO bought them.
Because at one time I thought Disney had picked them up.
I think they were negotiating.
Maybe it never happened then.
Okay. Are you ready for news?
We've got news this morning.
Let's jump in with a look at World and California news headlines right now. Brought to you by your friends at Lock Heating and Air Conditioning. That's right. They do heating. They are your year-round comfort specialist.
CBS News special report. Virtual debate is underway in the Supreme Court on the Affordable Care Act. California Solicitor General Michael Mongan argues the law holds up, even without a penalty for violating the controversial individual mandate.
Either buy insurance or do nothing. That inoperative provision doesn't harm anyone and it doesn't violate the Constitution.
Justice Clarence Thomas compares the individual mandate to flouting coronavirus recommendations and restrictions.
I assume that in most places there is no penalty for wearing a face mask or a mask during COVID. But there is some degree of opprobrium if one does not wear it in certain settings.
Outside the Supreme Court, protests striking down Obamacare could leave more than 20 million Americans without health care coverage. President-elect Biden has criticized Republican efforts to scrap it. CBS News Special Report. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
No matter how hot it is outside, you can count on a reliable, energy-efficient York air conditioner to keep you cool and comfortable inside. And you can also count on it being protected by one of the strongest warranties in the industry. It's just another way we install confidence. To learn more, call Bach Air Conditioning and Custom Sheet Metal, your local York dealer, at 760-353-4501. That's 353-4501. You can also save up to 50% in energy costs. Call Lock today, 353-4501. York, install with confidence. Contractor's license 696-212.
There's concern about a growing number of COVID-19 cases in several parts of the state.
What's happened in the last week, it is no longer a drift. Our cases are surging up, and that is cause for concern.
Dr. Sarah Cody, Public Health Director in Santa County. The state's seeing spikes in cases in several counties with a path that would likely mean passing the 1 million case number threshold by later this month. U.S. Supreme Court today airing the case questioning the legality of the Affordable Care Act. Republican State Senator Melissa Melendez says the ACA has hiked premiums and made coverage unaffordable for many.
I disagree where some might say that Republicans are opposed to expanding health care. I think the disagreement comes from in how we do that.
California among 20 states and the District of Columbia defending the ACA. Regal Cinemas shutting down its remaining locations in California. Starting Thursday, the movie theater chain will close the 18 locations left open in California and New York. Jeff Scott, California News.
World in California News headlines brought to you this morning by Like Air Conditioning and Heating. Yes, they are your year-round comfort specialists.
When you need your bank, Capital One is right in the palm of your hand. Oh. So you can check your balance, deposit checks, pay bills, and transfer money from your phone with a top-rated app. And when you're done banking, put it back in your pocket. A banking experience built around you and your life. This is Banking Reimagined. Get started online anytime. What's in your wallet? Capital One, N.A., member FDIC.
T-Mobile for Business knows saving time and money is important for your business. That's why we're introducing Microsoft 365 on Us, now included in our best business plans. With Office apps, Microsoft Teams, cloud storage, and more, Microsoft 365 on Us gives you the tools you need to run your business. Stop by a T-Mobile store today. Qualifying plan required. Contactless to activate. 1 license per line, max 2 per account. Third-party terms apply. See T-Mobile.com for plan details.
It's page one of the local news. Page one of service of Quick Lane Tire and Auto Centers in Brawley and El Centro. Quick Lane, they've got the best price on name brand tires, guaranteed. Check with your Quick Lane service advisor for details.
Taking a look at the latest in local news for a Tuesday morning, the COVID-19 update. The numbers are available. George Gale has the story.
It was released by the County Public Health Department yesterday morning. The update indicates the numbers are down slightly. The new cases per day per 100,000 population is at 21.77, down from the previously reported 25.42. Positivity rate is at 15.93%, down from the previously reported 16.23%. Active cases of COVID-19 are at 424, down from the 458 previously reported. Death toll as a result of COVID-19 remains at 341. There have been 81,082 tests for the virus. 13,390 have tested positive. 12,725 have recovered. For KXO Local News, I'm George Gale.
And speaking of COVID-19, testing is available. They're available free at OptumServe. The clinic is set up at the Senior Center in Brawley, 575 J Street. Monday, they said appointments were necessary in order to take advantage of the free test. You can schedule an appointment by calling 888-634-1123 or on the web at lhi.care/COVID testing. They're open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. KXO News Time, 7:43.
It's Quick Lane Tire and Auto Centers for your service needs. Whether it's a lube job, oil and filter change, brake job, battery or wheel balance and alignment, Quick Lane can handle it. And Quick Lane services all makes and all models. Oh, and by the way, you never need an appointment. Tires, all the best brands at the best price. Guaranteed. See your Quick Lane service advisor for details. Quick Lane Tire and Auto Centers in the Brawley Auto Plaza, Highway 86 and Julia Drive, and on Imperial Avenue in El Centro, right next to Food for Less.
Continuing with more local news, a couple of important updates. Here's more on the story.
They hold their regular meeting today. Public portion of the meeting begins at 10 this morning. The board will get an official update on COVID-19 in Imperial County. Update will be delivered by the County Public Health Department. They will also receive an update on the 2020 general election. Included in the meeting is possibly appointing a county executive officer to administer the Coronavirus Relief Fund, or CARES Act monies, and make the necessary expenditures for all public health and economic emergency items to the COVID-19 pandemic. The board will consider requests for the Imperial Valley Continuum of Care, which is handling the homeless situation in the Imperial County, and they will consider reorganization of the county social services department. Because of the current pandemic, the board prefers to meet with staff only. They request interested public view the meeting via live stream available on the county website. For KXO Local News, I'm George Gale.
Proceedings continued. It is in the Alejandra Hurtado case. Hurtado is an El Centro police officer being charged with false imprisonment and assault. Prosecutors in the case requested the continuation. They said a witness may have been exposed to COVID-19. The defense argued, saying that was hearsay. The judge decided to be safe and rescheduled the readiness hearing for November the 17th. That concludes this edition of Local News. Page 2 coming up.
Page 1 of the Local News, a service of Quick Lane Tire and Auto Centers in Brawley and El Centro. Quick Lane, they service all makes and all models, and you never need an appointment.
Practice the drums, feed your fish, practice your Spanish.
Miércoles.
Finally, finish your last class of the day.
Thank you.
Finish your homework, pick up your brothers, take them to McDonald's, and get them Big Mac burgers and Chicken McNuggets, which makes you the best sister ever meal. There's a meal for every moment at McDonald's, especially when you buy one of your faves and get another for just $1. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
And it's page 2 of the Local News with a serious look at the weather. All brought to you by David H. West Insurance Services. See David or Jose for life insurance, health insurance, Medicare supplemental coverage. David H. West Insurance Services.
3 people were killed in 2 separate vehicle collisions. George Gale has the story.
Both were single vehicle collisions. All the fatals were out of county residents. First collision reported at 5:15 Sunday evening. A 2006 Toyota Sequoia was eastbound on Interstate 8 east of Incopar Road. When the driver made a turning motion, the California Highway Patrol says the Toyota collided with the mountainside. Passenger in the Toyota, 20-year-old from Bloomington, Indiana, was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the vehicle, a 20-year-old from Chandler, Arizona, was flown to Desert Regional Medical Center and later succumbed to his injuries. 4 other passengers were transported to a hospital suffering moderate to minor injuries. Later that same night, in the same basic location, 2006 Toyota Solera was eastbound on Interstate 8. The vehicle was being driven by a 16-year-old from Yuma, Arizona. California Highway Patrol says the driver made a turning movement to the right, causing the vehicle to run off the main portion of the roadway and begin to roll over. The driver was ejected and suffered fatal injuries. He was pronounced dead at the scene. A passenger in the vehicle, 16-year-old Cameron Clay from Yuma, suffered moderate injuries. He was transported to El Centro Regional Medical Center for treatment. Both collisions remain under investigation. For KXO Local News, I'm George Gale.
The Imperial County Register of Voters has issued an unofficial election results update. The unofficial update will include polling site ballots and vote-by-mail ballots received or postmarked on or before Election Day. This will not be a final tally of all ballots. As mandated by the state of California, the Register of Voters has until December 3rd to certify the election. The Register's office estimates there are approximately 12,000 unprocessed vote-by-mail and 7,000 provisional ballots remaining to be tallied. Furthermore, the Register's office anticipates receiving additional vote-by-mail ballots that were postmarked by November the 3rd and or deposited to outside counties. That concludes this. In other local news, not to get ahead of ourselves in the news earlier, Vet Day is this Wednesday. Here's more on that story.
One of the few holidays not celebrated on a Monday or a Friday. County Board of Supervisors and the Imperial District have announced they will be closed on Veterans Day. County says emergency services will still be available during the holiday. IID says emergencies can still be reported, such as power outages, downed power lines, etc. They can be reported to the IID. Banks and other local, state, and federal offices are traditionally also closed on Veterans Day. For KXO Local News, I'm George Gale.
The Imperial Valley Desert Museum is in the news. They are hosting a special event. It is an evening with an expert. It will be held Saturday, November the 14th. It will be a live Zoom event. The topic, Reflections of the Past in the Present, Landscape, People, and Narrative, featuring Carrie Malloy, lecturer and a Native American, was at Humboldt State University. It begins at 6 p.m. This Saturday. You can contact Ivy Desert Museum for information on the Zoom event. You will also be able to view the event at facebook.com/events. We'll be back with a look at the weather.
Have you received notice that your Medicare health plan is changing or going away? Are you turning 65 soon, or are you newly eligible to Medicare and have questions about your Medicare options? Then give David or Jose a call at David H. West Insurance to learn about the ABCs of Medicare. Don't delay. Call David H. West Insurance Services now at 760-352-411. That's 760-352-3411. That's David H. West Insurance.
Here's Carroll Buckley with the weather update.
Dry conditions and below to well below normal temperatures will prevail next week. Temperatures will remain below normal as the region undergoes a slow warming. A weak and dry disturbance may move through the area late this week. Temperatures should eventually warm above normal into the low 80s by early next week. 65 our high yesterday, 1 the low. Sunny 2 with a high near 68. West wind about 5 miles an hour, becoming north later. Mostly clear tonight with a low around 4. Light winds becoming south about 5 miles an hour. Tomorrow, Veterans Day, sunny with a high near 72. South wind about 5 miles per hour, then becoming calm. 46 degrees and 5% relative humidity. Wind out of the west at 3 to 5 miles. Pay of the local news sent to you by David H. West Insurance Services. See David or Jose for health insurance plans and Medicare supplement coverage. David H. West Insurance Services.
Let's talk about it. Bringing community mental health issues to your... Listen each Sunday morning to KXO AM 1230 at 7 a.m. and now on Sunday evening 7 p.m. on FM 107.5. Or log on to kxoradio.com for a 5-minute podcast highlight of the show or the show in its entirety. This program is produced Public Affairs Department of KXO AM 1230 and FM 107.5. Let's Talk About It is presented as a public service of Imperial Behavioral Health Services.
It's sports time. Monday Night Football, a better game than anybody would have thought. Yeah, the Patriots prevailed with a end of the game field goal. The Patriots topped the Jets 30-27. Meanwhile, the promising season of Dallas Cowboys rookie corner Trevon Diggs could be over. It's definitely on hold. Diggs broke a bone in his foot in Sunday's loss to the Pittsburghs. He will miss at least 4 to 6 weeks. And the Atlanta Falcons waived former first-round draft pick Takk McKinley on Monday, days after the defensive end called out the team for failing to trade him at the trading deadline. Hey, Takk, you got to find a team that wants you. Kxo AM 1230 will present coverage of the Masters Golf Tournament. Our 2020 Majors Golf coverage is brought to you by Del Rio Country Club in Brawley, Stan's Auto Body in El Centro, and Derma's Floor Coverings in Imperial. Our Masters coverage begins Thursday. In yesterday's practice round at Augusta National Golf Club, Bryson DeChambeau consistently hit his tee shots 20 yards past Justin Thomas, 40 yards by five-time Masters champ Woods, and even farther past 1992 champ Fred Coles. Yeah, the long drive is here. Meanwhile, the Major League Baseball have named Milwaukee Brewers reliever Devin Woods the National League Rookie of the Year. And, that congratulations. Yeah, I think there was a Padre that might have deserved it more. And the Seattle Mariners rookie Kyle Lewis awarded the American League Rookie of the Year in a unanimous vote. The NBA and their players' union have reached an agreement in principle on the start of the 2021 season. The deal calls for free agency to begin Friday, November 20th, 2 days after next week's NBA draft. The regular season will begin December 22nd. And that's it for Sports Time.
To some, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much, but that's not true. They're testing out vowels and consonants and trying different sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on meaning, especially if there's no babbling at all. No babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Financial news and weather brought to you by Imperial Valley's Roto-Rooter. When drains don't work, they do. Well, the major indexes around the globe inched up early today as investors weighed promising news about Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine candidate and the effect it could have on the global recovery, but their gains failed to match Monday's euphoric moves. European stocks, by the way, were a bit mixed. Right now, taking a look at the market, the Dow Jones Industrials up 33 points at 29,191. The S&P 500 off 28 at 3,522. And the NASDAQ dropped 233 points at 11,480. Gold jumped $4.30 an ounce, and oil up 57 cents a barrel. And Peloton has striked a multi-year content partnership with Beyoncé as the exercise equipment maker is looking to grow. Airline stocks have pulled back, with American Airlines hurt by a stock offering. And McDonald's plans to launch its own plant-based burger, the McPlant, after Beyond Meat testing showed some promise. KXO News Time is 7:58.
Roto-Rooter, your plumbing and drain cleaning specialist. Roto-Rooter offers full services, from hydrojetting to camera inspection. Water heaters, faucets, garbage disposals, anything that's clogged up. They'll take care of the problem right. Roto-Rooter is a locally owned family business with 53 years in the Imperial Valley. Call the experts at 760-352-6789. That's 352-6789 or 344-2533 in the North End. Roto-Rooter. When drains don't work, we do.
Dry conditions and below to well below normal temperatures will prevail into next week. Temperatures will remain below normal as the region undergoes a slow warming trend. A weak and dry disturbance may move through the area late this week. Temperatures should eventually warm above normal into the low 80s by early next week. 65 our high yesterday, 41 the low. Sunny today with a high near 68. West wind about 5 miles an hour, becoming north later. Mostly clear tonight with a low around 44. Light winds becoming south about 5 miles an hour. Tomorrow, Veterans Day, sunny with a high near 72. South wind about 5 miles per hour, then becoming calm. And right now downtown we have 48 degrees, 53% our relative humidity, wind out of the west at 3 to 5 miles per hour. Financial news and the weather brought to you by Roto-Rooter in El Centro and Brawley. Drains don't work, and they do so much more than just drains. Coming up, CBS News on the hour. When you have a chance, check out our website, kxoradio.com. Follow us on Facebook. And, of course, hey, our morning news is on the KXO YouTube channel.
The best oldies on the radio. KXO.
CBS News is by the Valley Economic Development Corporation. It's here.
It's CBS News on the Hour, presented by Capital One Bank.
I'm Steve Kafen. Arguments at the U.S. Supreme Court in a case that could topple Obamacare. Opponents to the Affordable Care Act believe it should be struck down because the requirement Americans purchase health insurance is unconstitutional. Texas Solicitor General Kyle Hawkins.
It is a naked command to purchase health insurance, and as such, it falls outside Congress's enumerated powers.
But California Solicitor General Michael Mongan says the Republican-controlled Congress in 2017 declined to repeal the law and only zeroed out the penalty for not having health insurance.
So we know the rest of the act should remain in effect.
Steve Dorsey, CBS News, Washington.
Well, the Justice Department could now be part of the Trump administration's effort to challenge the results of last week's election. CBS's Paula Reed.
The Attorney General is urging prosecutors to look into allegations of fraud. But at this point, the Trump campaign has not provided any evidence of fraud. So the real impact of this memo is that it now allows the president to say the Justice Department is investigating. It allows him to continue to delay concession and undermine the trust in the outcome of this election.
Hours after that memo was issued, the head of the Justice Department that prosecutes election crimes resigned. CBS Stephen Portnoy says the Biden transition team has hit a roadblock as it tries to arrange a smooth transfer of power.
The decision lies at the feet of a little-known Washington bureaucrat, the head of the General Services Administration. That agency, which maintains federal buildings, holds the keys to office space for the incoming president's team. GSA says it hasn't yet ascertained that Joe Biden is the president-elect, pointing to how George W. Bush's team was treated during the contested Florida recount in 2000. But that election hinged on a few hundred votes in one single state, and Mr. Biden got tens of thousands more votes than Mr. Trump in several key states.
In a study of 62,000 Americans who were hospitalized with COVID-19, 20% were left with lasting mental effects. British researcher Paul Harrison.
1 in 5 patients received a psychiatric diagnosis, and of those 1 in 5, about a quarter of them had never previously had a psychiatric diagnosis.
A Vatican report into former U.S. Cardinal Theodore McCarrick, who was expelled last year after being found guilty of sex crimes, has some startling revelations. CBS's Chris Livesay.
This long-awaited report admits that Pope John Paul II, who made McCarrick a cardinal and appointed him to Washington, D.C., knew about allegations of sexual misconduct, but chose to ignore them and to Instead, take McCarrick for his word.
The Dow is up 87. This CBS News.
Capital One is right in the palm of your hand, so you can check your balance, checks, pay bills, and transfer money from your phone with a top-rated app. Get started online anytime. What's in your wallet? Capital One NA, member FDIC.
At Boot Barn, we believe that the cowboy boot is an American icon. Today's boots are not only rooted in history, but are enhanced with modern technology features for the working cowboy. Area boot with advanced technology that provides the comfort and support of a high-performance athletic shoe, yet still has the functionality and durability of the iconic cowboy boot. And at Boot Barn, we carry over 250,000 pairs of Ariat boots nationwide. Ariat at Boot Barn.
T-Mobile for Business knows saving time and money is important for your business. That's why we're introducing Microsoft 365 on us, now included in our best business plans. With Office apps, Microsoft Teams, cloud storage, and more, Microsoft 365 on us gives you the tools you need to run your business. Stop by a T-Mobile store today. Qualifying plan required. Contactless to activate. 1 license per line, max 2 per account. Third-party terms apply. See T-Mobile.com for plan details.
2020 is wrapping up with some welcome news from the French vineyards.
Warm weather in spring and a hot summer combine to make what winemakers in Burgundy say will be an exceptional vintage.
The wine should be concentrated, quite deep and intense in flavor and color.
Burgundy-based wine expert Preston Moore. Burgundies are expensive, but he says lockdowns and restaurant closures mean people are changing their habits.
People are willing to spend that extra cost to drink a nice bottle at home.
Moore says 2020 will be a vintage to enjoy young or in 5 to 10 years. Elaine Cobb, CBS News, Paris.
Turns out the new manager of the Chicago White Sox, Tony La Russa, was charged with driving under the influence back in February, but the case wasn't filed until late last month, right before the 76-year-old Hall of Famer was hired. The team indicates it was aware of the arrest. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson Ricky LeBlanc admitted in Massachusetts only. Sokolov Law LLC, Chestnut Hill, Mass. Paul J. Morgan, Winter Park, Florida. Greg Hoppy, New Jersey. Michael Bro Gonzalez, admitted Louisiana. While this firm maintains joint responsibility, most cases of this type are referred to other attorneys for principal responsibility. Mesothelioma. If you know what mesothelioma is, you or someone you love has likely been affected by this devastating cancer. You may be entitled to compensation. Call Sokolov Law today. 1-800-578-2400. The only known cause of mesothelioma is asbestos exposure. Thousands of U.S. veterans and trade workers are at risk for the disease. Nearly $30 billion in court-ordered trust has been set aside to pay money to asbestos victims. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call now. You may be able to receive compensation without ever going to court or filing a lawsuit. Call for a free legal consultation at 1-800-578-2400. That's 1-800-578-2400. 1-800-578-2400.
The coronavirus pandemic has affected many businesses in the Imperial Valley. The Small Business Development Center and Imperial Valley Economic Development Corporation are here to help. They can assist with disaster loans and other financing, guidance on establishing a safe workplace, workforce concerns, additional referrals. For virtual services, call the Small Business Development Center, 760-312-9800. Se habla español. For more information on business resources, visit ivedc.com. CBS News, a service of the Imperial Valley Economic Development Corporation. It's all here.
And now, more of the best oldies on the radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for
Carroll Buckley.
Things he says and like you can connect to them.
AM 1230 KXO. 1230